Leading with Health, Anointing, and Honor. Final by Madison Simpson. Leadership begins with the heart. During one of my recent mentoring meetings with Pastor John, he had said healthy leadership flows from a healthy heart. And this hit me. It reminded me that time management isn't just about schedules. It's about stewardship of the soul. When I'm grounded in prayer and have boundaries, I lead with grace instead of reaction. Psalms chapter 90 verse 12 calls us to live intentionally, with a posture of humility, gratitude, and eternal focus. It's a reminder that time is sacred and that numbering our days leads us not to fear death, but to value life, to live wisely, compassionately, and fruitfully in the service of God. Leading from peace, not pressure. He also said, if I'm always rushed, I'm probably not really listening. And that one sentence reframed how I think about leadership. When I'm hurried, I tend to lead from pressure. When I slow down and make space for God, I lead from peace. And people feel that. We read in Mark chapter 1, verse 35, it says, very, very early in the morning, Jesus went off to a solitary place where he prayed. Even amidst the busyness and the high demands of ministry, Jesus prioritized time alone with God. This verse teaches us that spiritual strength and clarity and guidance come from intentional prayer and communion with the Father. Anointing versus gifting. Christine Kane said, your gift might fill a room, but your anointing breaks yokes. That reminds me that gifting is about ability, but anointing is about intimacy with God. In the dark room season, in the hidden ones, are where real power is formed. We can't rush that process. We read in 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 13, that David's anointing before his appointment happened. James chapter 1, verse 4, let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete. Gifts impress, but anointing transforms. The crushing process produces the depth, and God develops before he promotes. Empowering men and women in leadership, I think, is so important. In the article, Yes, Churches Need Women Who Teach, Lead, and Preach, I was reminded that the early church thrived when everyone, both men and women, used their gifts. From Mary and Priscilla to Phoebe, women were preaching, teaching, and leading. If God poured out his Spirit on both sons and daughters, then the church should make space for both to lead. Acts chapter 2, verse 17, your sons and daughters will prophesy. Romans 16, 1 through 7, Paul honors women in leadership. These verses remind us that God's Spirit empowers both men and women to serve and to lead. In Acts, the promise of prophecy includes sons and daughters, showing God's call is not limited by gender. In Romans, Paul shows us how he's honoring faithful women in ministry, proving that the early church valued their leadership, and together they affirm that women are vital participants in God's mission, gifted and called to build up his kingdom. Application, leading with health and honor. If we want to lead well, we must lead whole. That's one thing that I truly have been learning. That means giving God space to shape us before we step out to shape others. I'm learning to protect my time, to stay faithful in hidden seasons, and to make room for every voice God calls. That's how the church grows in love and unity. So 4 steps that I've really been working on is 1, build boundaries, schedule time for rest and reflection. 2, lead from peace. Pray before reacting, pray before having a meeting, pray before meeting with someone. 3, value process over a platform. Value the process of the crushing season, the building season, the dark room where God comes and speaks. 4, empower both men and women to use their gifts. They both play a vital part in the church. Healthy leadership isn't about how much we do. It's about who we become. The world doesn't need more busy leaders. It needs more whole ones. My prayer is that we'll be people marked not by skill, but by the Spirit. Leaders who create peace, build unity, and reflect the heart of Jesus. Matthew chapter 11, verse 29 says, "Learn from me, and you will find your rest for your souls." Leadership begins in the secret places. Health produces harmony, and God honors faithfulness over visibility.